saints of all religions, we lay the flowers of our devotion gently at thy feet. Beloved Swami Sri Yukteswarji, we honor thee on this holy day of thy Mahasamadhi. Come into our hearts, come into our minds, uplift our spirits, that we might be ever more in attunement with thee. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's inhale with a double breath. Let's do a couple of energizers. Again, tense your whole body. And then relax your whole body. Again. And relax. Let's walk in place just a little bit to get the energy moving. Inwardly chant, I'm awake and ready, I'm awake and ready, awake and ready, I'm awake and ready, awake and ready, I'm awake and ready, I'm awake and ready, awake and ready. Now please take your seats and we'll start with some chanting and meditation.
Concentrate and pass thy time in idle words, oh my saint. Wake yet wake, oh my saint. Wake yet wake, oh my saint. Death will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore. Death will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore to redeem thy soul, oh my saint. Oh my saint, wake and wake, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. You did not meditate, you did not concentrate, you did not meditate, you did not concentrate and pass thy time in idle words, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Death will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore. Death will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore to redeem thy soul, oh my saint, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. You did not meditate, you did not concentrate, you did not meditate, you did not concentrate and pass thy time in idle words, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore. Death will be at thy door, and you may not have time anymore to redeem thy soul, oh my saint, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint. Wake and wake, oh my saint.
Let's meditate now for a few minutes together. Let's meditate on Swami Sri Yukteswarji. In your heart, draw his strength, his power, his energy, his magnetism. Feel him sitting right next to you, blessing you.
सब वैसेंट हो रहा है.
Now we'll listen to Master's first meeting with Swami Shri Yukteswarji from Autobiography of a Yogi.
Then doubt assailed me. You were confusing this wandering monk with someone known to you, I thought. Dreamer, walk on. After 10 minutes, I felt heavy numbness in my feet. As though turned to stone, they were unable to carry me further. Laboriously, I turned around. My feet regained normalcy. I faced the opposite direction. Again, the curious weight oppressed me. The saint is magnetically drawing me to him. With this thought, I heaped my parcels into the arms of Habu. He had been observing my erratic footwork with amazement and now burst into laughter. What ails you? Are you crazy? My tumultuous emotion prevented any retort. I sped silently away. Retracing my steps as though wing-shod, I reached the narrow lane. My quick glance revealed the quiet figure, steadily gazing in my direction. A few eager steps, and I was at his feet. Gurudeva! The divine face was none other than he of my 1,000 visions. Those halcyon eyes and leonine head with pointed beard and flowing locks had oft peered through gloom of my nocturnal reveries, holding a promise I had not fully understood. Oh, my own, you have come to me. My guru uttered the words again and again in Bengali, his voice tremulous with joy. How many years I have waited for you. We entered a oneness of silence. Words seemed the rankest superfluities. Eloquence flowed in soundless chant from heart of master to disciple. With an antenna of irrefragable insight, I sensed that my guru knew God and would lead me to him. The obscuration of this life disappeared in a fragile dawn of prenatal memories. Dramatic time, past, present, and future are its cycling scenes. This was not the first son to find me at these holy feet. My hand in his, my guru led me to his temporary residence in the Rama Mahal section of the city. His athletic figure moved with firm tread, tall, erect, about 55 at this time. He was active and vigorous as a young man. His dark eyes were large, beautiful, with plumbless wisdom. Slightly curly hair softened a face of striking power. Strength mingled subtly with gentleness. As we made our way to the stone balcony of a house overlooking the Ganges, he said affectionately, "I will give you my hermitages and all I possess. Sir, I come for wisdom and God contact. Those are your treasure troves I am after." The swift
This reading is from Autobiography of a Yogi of the last day of Sri Yukteswar on this planet. Come to Puri ashram at once. This telegram was sent on March 8th by a brother disciple to Atul Chandra Roy Chaudhary, one of Master's chelas in Calcutta. News of the message reached my ears. Anguished at its implications, I dropped to my knees and implored God that my Guru's life be spared. As I was about to leave Father's home for the train, a divine voice spoke within. Do not go to Puri tonight. Thy prayer cannot be granted. Lord, I said, grief-stricken, thou dost not wish to engage with me in a tug of war at Puri, where thou wilt have to deny my incessant prayers for my master's life. Must he then depart for higher duties at thy behest? In obedience to the inward command, I did not leave that night for Puri. The following evening, I set out for the train. On the way, at 7 o'clock, a black astral cloud suddenly covered the sky. Later, while the train rode towards Puri, a vision of Sri Yukteswar appeared before me. He was sitting, very grave of countenance, with a light on each side. Is it all over? I lifted my arms beseechingly. He nodded, then slowly vanished. As I stood on the Puri train platform the following morning, still hoping against hope, an unknown man approached me. Have you heard that your master is gone? He left me without another word. I never discovered who he was, nor how he had known where to find me. Stunned, I swayed against the platform wall, realizing that in diverse ways my guru was trying to convey to me the devastating news. Seething with rebellion, my soul was like a volcano. By the time I reached the Puri hermitage, I was nearing collapse. The inner voice was tenderly repeating, collect yourself, be calm. I entered the ashram room where Master's body, unimaginably lifelike, was sitting in a lotus posture, a picture of health and loveliness. A short time before his passing, my guru had been slightly ill with fever, But before the day of his ascension into the infinite, his body had become completely well. No matter how often I looked at his dear form, I could not realize that its life had departed. His skin was smooth and soft. In his face was a beatific expression of tranquility. He had consciously relinquished his body at the hour of mystic summoning. The lion of Bengal is gone, I cried in a daze. Om Guru.
Now let's take a moment and go before your own altar with love and deep gratitude to Swami Shri Yukteswarji. If you have flowers, you can offer those. More important is the love of our hearts. So just take a moment now. And now we'll hear from Autobiography of a Yogi, The Resurrection of Swami Shri Yukteswarji, just an excerpt from that chapter.
We come now to the final chapter in these highlights from Autobiography of a Yogi. Chapter 43, The Resurrection of Sri Yukteswar. Lord Krishna, the glorious form of the Avatar, appeared in a shimmering blaze as I sat in my room at the Regent Hotel in Bombay. Shining over the roof of a high building across the street, the ineffable vision had suddenly burst on my sight as I gazed out of my long, open third-story window. The divine figure waved to me, smiling and nodding in greeting. When I could not understand the exact message of Lord Krishna, he departed with a gesture of blessing. Wondrously uplifted, I felt that some spiritual event was presaged. My Western voyage had for the time being been cancelled. I was scheduled for several public addresses in Bombay before leaving on a return visit to Bengal. Sitting on my bed in the Bombay Hotel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon of June 19th, 1936, 1 week after the vision of Krishna, I was roused from my meditation by a beatific light. Before my open and astonished eyes, the whole room was transformed into a strange world, the sunlight transmuted into supernal splendor. Waves of rapture engulfed me as I beheld the flesh and blood form of Sri Yukteswar. My son, Master spoke tenderly, on his voice an angel bewitching smile. For the first time in my life, I did not kneel at his feet in greeting, but instantly advance to gather him hungrily in my arms, moment of moments. The anguish of past months was toll I counted weightless against the torrential bliss now descending. Master mine, beloved of my heart, why did you leave me? I was incoherent in an excess of joy. Why did you let me go to the Kumbh Mela? How bitterly I have blamed myself for leaving you. I did not want to interfere with your happy anticipation of seeing the pilgrimage spot where I first met Babaji. I left you only for a little while. Am I not with you again? But is it you, Master, the same Lion of God? Are you wearing a body like the one I buried beneath the cruel Puri sands? Yes, my child, I am the same. This is a flesh and blood body. Though I see it as ethereal, to your sight it is physical. From the cosmic atoms I created an entirely new body, exactly like that cosmic dream physical body which you laid beneath the dream sands at Puri in your dream world. I am in truth resurrected, not on earth, but on an astral planet. Its inhabitants are better able than earthly humanity to meet my lofty standards. There you and your exalted loved ones shall someday come to be with me.
Let's close with a brief meditation now. Now let's visualize souls everywhere being blessed on this holy day by the omnipresence of our gurus, particularly of Swami Sri Yukteswarji. To visualize their light, their healing power, filling all of us, people everywhere in need, and their light flooding this earth, going around the world to souls everywhere. Visualize light now as we rub our hands together. We share these blessings of today with souls everywhere. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lady Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet, O great masters, Swami Shri Yukteswarji. Strengthen us in our practices, in our attitudes, in our love for God. Help us to be ever more attuned to thy ray of blessings, of grace in our lives. We are thine. Be with us now and always. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.